just stay calm. And all along we've been saying, don't be scared, just be prepared. So now it's don't be scared, we are prepared. We're prepared. So we'll get you through tonight. Going to be a very busy night. A lot going on, a lot of tornado warnings. Hurricane Irma is getting closer, so the anxiety level is going up for all of us. Everybody breathe. Just a big deep breath right now. Big deep breath. Because here in Central Florida, we are aware of hurricane season. We've prepared. We know what happens during hurricanes. We went through this with Matthew. This is a different story, but everybody, that collective deep breath, and watch as these storms come in, and you're in your safe place. 1, we've got 2, we've got 3, we've got 4, we have 5, and we have 6. And this is actually a pretty good area of wind that is rushing away, but starting to try and rotate, sitting out over Bithlo. So we've got our eye on the radar.
Thank you, David.
We do not know that.
Sometimes those can be elevated, one
correct,
of those towers.
yes.
Right. So it goes to show that winds increase with height in a tropical system, and that's why we don't want people, in high rises. They need to be in more secure places, because the winds can be a category higher once you get above, I believe it's 20 stories, something like that.
Yeah, so definitely stay low, stay inside.
Here's Lake Apopka. So Apopka and the 429, Paradise Heights, Tildenville, Ocoee. As we get down toward just north of Gotha, just north of Windermere, Winter Garden Village, that is where the most intense band is at this time as far as the winds are concerned. Let me sample some of these. And again, David talked about this earlier. As I put some of these numbers out here, you're seeing the high numbers, 78, 75, 77. The radar is pointing out and up, so a lot of these are just up off the ground or aloft, although we are still getting some strong gusts. And out toward Lake Apopka, yes, we are probably sustaining the winds 50 to 65 miles per hour. Some of those gusts could be approaching 75 miles per hour. We do have a tornado warning for central and northern Brevard County, for northern Flagler County as well. And by the way, we were able to give you about 15-20 minutes heads up before that warning was issued that was coming on in, and we watched it closely. Jamie and I were tracking that out, and at one point had 83 mile per hour winds, and that was at least, and more than likely a little bit stronger as it crossed through Palm Bay. So we're giving you a heads up now. Cocoa Beach, Upper Park, look at the palm trees now starting to sway pretty good. Rounds of supercell thunderstorms. And when I say supercell, I'm talking rotating thunderstorms. Not a tornado, but a rotating thunderstorm that could produce a tornado.
Doesn't mean we're not going to have some serious flooding issues here over the next 24 hours or so, but we're not going to see all of Metro Orlando just go underwater like what happened in Houston. So that's the good news in all of this, is a fast-moving system. It's going to be a pretty good punch to the gut here over the next 12 hours or so. But by the time we get towards about midday on Monday, we'll kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, I think. And by the end of Monday, the worst for the most part should be done with here in Central Florida.
I've got a pretty big gut. I can take that. I can take that punch. I can take that punch. So everybody's taking that deep breath. Here we go again. Everybody breathe, and we're good.
Right.
We've got this. And reaching out to my neighbors, they seem in good spirits. Obviously, everybody's a little nervous. There's a lot of scared people. But we're talking you through this, and if you have prepared, we're good to go for the rest of tonight.
Yeah. And, Mallory and I are both students in emergency management, learning about disaster preparedness at the graduate level. And one thing that we both have learned, and the things that we've studied, is communities that are more connected are more resilient. So if you know your neighbors and you're going to check on them and keep in touch with them. I just moved. I don't know my neighbors yet. So if you're watching and you know who I am, maybe you've seen me outside, hopefully you're keeping an eye on my property. But, we will get through this together.
Yes, we definitely will.
So what I'm doing is currently moving north at 14. What we have circled here is kind of the edge of what would be the outer eye wall. So that's going to be the most intense wind field. And I've taken it out basically as far as I can go, 240 minutes. So that's 4 hours from now. And that takes us 4 hours from now would be into the midnight time frame, 1 a.m. And I would say, just, again, ballpark figure, this isn't the gospel, I would say as we approach 1 a.m., that's when the outer eye wall will begin to push its way into parts of Metro Orlando and in northern sections of Polk County, northern sections of Osceola County, if current trends continue. So again, I would anticipate just early indications. Long way to go here. We're talking 4 hours out.
So I want to show you, this is kind of one of the wind products that we have to let you know when to expect the worst of the winds. And notice this is 9:30 here. We're already dealing with a few hurricane force winds. We've gotten a couple of those already across the area, and a good portion of Central Florida continuing to deal with those tropical storm force winds.
It's a little unnerving, sure is, but we're watching the wind increase now. So things that we need to do, we need to focus, safe spot, away from the windows. Got your helmet, got your shoes, got your pants on, so that you can wander outside at this point if you need to get out of the house for some reason. And hopefully that's not going to happen, because I really want you to stay put, shelter in place all across Central Florida tonight. We have several hours of this. It's 8:45. We will probably be dealing with much of this very intense weather for at least the next 6 to 7 hours. And it's wearing on everybody. I know it is. Everybody, even here at News 13, everybody is feeling that emotion that is rushing forward. But at this point, the thing to remember, we don't have to be scared. We have already prepared. We've got ourselves in our safe spot. We are sheltering in place tonight.
That means it's going to be staying over land here over the next few hours, possibly weakening a little more.
This system has been on land now for several hours, and so it should continue to what we call wind down. It has lost the juice, the atmosphere, or the warm waters of the ocean in the Gulf of Mexico, so it has no more energy. And so literally, kind of like I pull the plug or your car runs out of gas, it's still going to keep going, but it is going to lose momentum and kind of a spinning top. The top's kind of almost falling down now, and so we're seeing the wind field kind of expand a little bit. That was to be expected, and we're also seeing the eye walls and the eye itself kind of looking very, very ragged.
I've stepped out of the Weather Center a couple times, and that creaking is very eerie. I'm sure people at home, they're hearing that same creaking. Turn the volume up on the TV. Turn the volume up on your iPad. Turn the volume up and drown that out. Yeah. We're talking you through this, and we're going to get through this, Central Florida. We got this. We got this.
This is what we get for living in Florida. You know, David said it the other day. Yeah. We get sunshine and no snow in January. This is the price we pay, but we're prepared. We've been prepared for several days, and we're putting that preparation in action right now. And we all did our own steps at home to be prepared. We're all in this together. This is why we have a significant flood concern in these areas. And if we query some of them, you can just see in the red. This is 24 hours, and we're going to be adding on to this for another 12 hours. Even though Irma is a fairly fast-moving system compared to what we saw in Texas with Harvey.
Both of you walking in, probably thinking when we leave it's going to look a little different, and especially for you, Beth, you know, being in Orlando for as long as you have been here, we've been through a number of really bad events, but you know the resiliency of Central Florida, right?
We do, and not only when it's a natural phenomenon, but after Pulse, specifically for me, the Pulse attack just brought this community together. And going back to the natural phenomenon, Charlie, Jean, Francis, back in 2004, we will rebuild. What's happening now is, as you guys mentioned just a few moments ago, it's that kick, that punch in the gut, and we're all feeling that. However, there's always someone in the family, I know it happens in my family, that says, okay, everybody, simmer down. Here's what's going to happen. Now, how can we empower ourselves? So we're reaching out to you, and if you're feeling nervous, we're feeling nervous right there with you. But that's not going to solve any problems. So we're just trying to keep our head on straight, look at the facts, which is the winds, the rain, etc., and now just sit and wait and watch safely.
So weather team here, Beth and Tammy carrying us through in the newsroom, and I know we have reporters in the field. We have the crews, and tremendous thank you to the crews in the back. You guys putting in long hours, very stressful situation for everyone, and everybody here at News 13 doing an amazing job of carrying this story for Central Florida. And Tammy and Beth, I know that you've got a lot of information, so why don't we get back to you? We will do some more math, try and figure out some of the timing details as this is moving in for the next couple of hours.
Okay, thank you so much, guys. We'll see you in just a moment. Behind this wall, y'all can't see it, but it's a battalion.
It really is.
Of producers and other staff from the News 13 family. They're sleeping on floors. There's food, there's water everywhere, but whatever's going on at home, we're doing that here. But our job, our commitment to you, this is what we do, is to keep you informed.